It started with a phone call that shouldn't have been possible. Room 313 had no working line because the entire floor had been sealed since the night someone died there. I worked the night shift at a small roadside hotel in Arizona. One of those forgotten places travelers use to rest their eyes and keep moving. The kind of place that smells faintly of old coffee, bleach, and desert dust. I'd been here for 8 months, working midnight to 6, watching the flicker of the lobby's neon vacancy sign while the world outside slept. On quiet nights, I'd kill time scrolling through my phone or flipping through the maintenance logs. But around 2:43 a.m., the silence of the lobby was broken by the shrill ring of the front desk phone. I glanced at the caller ID, room 313. For a second, I just stared. That wasn't possible. The third floor had been locked and condemned after what happened 3 years ago. The story went that a man traveling alone checked in for one night and was found the next morning with the phone cord wrapped tightly around his neck. The police never confirmed if it was suicide or something worse. But the owner sealed off the room and the floor, saying it was cheaper than exercising it. The phone rang again. I picked it up, forcing a nervous laugh. Front desk, how can I help you? There was static at first, soft and wet, like someone breathing through water. Then a voice. Is this Alex? I froze. The voice was hoarse, distorted, but it said my name clearly. Only one person on earth should know I was working this shift. My manager, who was asleep at home. Who is this? I asked. No answer, just the faint sound of the line crackling, followed by 3 slow knocks. It wasn't coming from the phone. It was coming from above me, the ceiling. I hung up, heart hammering. The third floor had no power, no phones, no guests. I told myself it was a wiring glitch. Old system, old building. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was up there. I grabbed the master key ring and flashlight, muttering to myself as I stepped into the elevator. The air felt different the higher I went, colder, thicker. When the doors opened on the third floor, a rush of stale, icy air hit my face. The hallway was dark. Dust hung in the air like fog. I could see faint outlines of furniture covered in white sheets. Each door boarded shut, except one. Room 313. The boards on the door had been pried open from the inside. My flashlight flickered as I stepped closer. The knob was cold to the touch, colder than metals should ever be. The door creaked open a few inches. I pushed it wider, and the smell hit me. Not rot exactly, but something sweet and old, like dried blood and moldy carpet. The phone inside was ringing. It sat on the bedside table covered in a thin film of dust. The cord stretched out as if it had been used recently. I swallowed hard and lifted the receiver. Alex, the voice whispered again. You shouldn't be here. I turned to leave, but the door slammed shut. The temperature dropped instantly. My breath came out in white clouds. Who are you? I shouted. The line crackled again. Then a faint sound. Someone crying softly. Not far away, the light flickered. And for a split second, I saw a reflection in the cracked mirror above the dresser. A man standing right behind me, eyes wide and black, a phone cord dangling from his neck. When I spun around, no one was there. The crying stopped. The phone went dead. I ran down the hall, into the elevator, slamming the button for the lobby. As the doors closed, I caught a final glimpse of the hallway mirror. My reflection, standing completely still, staring at me, even though I was moving. By the time the elevator hit the first floor, the lobby phone was ringing again. I didn't want to look, but I did. Room 313. This time I didn't answer, but the phone didn't stop ringing. It rang until sunrise, and when my manager came in, he found me sitting by the desk, shaking, staring at the dead line. He checked the system logs later. The call had come through the internal network. But here's the thing. According to the maintenance records, Room 313 was disconnected from the system 3 years ago. Still, sometimes around 2:43 a.m., the phone rings again. And even though I've quit that job, I can still hear that voice in my dreams, asking quietly, "Is this Alex?"